So they said, we don't want any prasadam, please chant the Mahamantra. And some people, when they open the door, they say, go away from the home. They used to say, this Nityananda Haridas, they are spying our house. And they will give the information about the house to the thieves. So they used to drive them away. There were some bad people also at that time. But still, Nityananda Haridas used to go house to house and beg, literally beg. This is the Balramji himself, or Lakshmanji, begging house to house. And what is he begging? Please chant the Mahamantra. Why does he saying like that? Because in the Kali Yuga, there is only way to get the love of God. And what is that? Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasti, Kalau Nasti, Kalau Nasti Evam Gatir Anyatha. If you really want to be happy, there is only one way. And what is that one way?
Harinam.
Chanting the holy name of Krishna. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. So to make everybody happy and to remove their suffering, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas went door to door. One time they were standing in the marketplace and they saw two drunkard people. And they were really drunkard. And they were pulling each other's hairs. And they were abusing, using false language, very, very bad words. So Nityananda and Haridas were really surprised that what's going on here. So they asked somebody who was standing by that who are these two people who are acting so like a mad. So they said that these are the two most sinful people in this village, in the Nadia district. And their names are Jagai and Madhai. Actually, Jagai means Jagannath and Madhai means Madhav. They said, these are the two Brahmin family children. They are spoiled because of bad association and they drink alcohol to such an extent that they lose their consciousness, and they have done every type of sin possible on the planet. They have robbed the houses, they have killed the people, they have burned the houses, they have abducted the people, they have done everything. And please don't go closer to them. They are really dangerous people. Most of us, when we see something going wrong, we try to go away from that place. That's natural. But Nityananda Prabhu was so compassionate that seeing these two people suffering, he said, if holy name of Lord Krishna can deliver these two people, it will be wonderful. Have you seen pigs ever? इंडिया में कभी पिग देखे हैं आपने? कहाँ रहते हैं? गांव में, विलेजेस में पिग्स देखे? कहाँ पे रहते हैं वो लोग?
चिखल.
कहाँ पे रहते हैं?
I've made friends with a few pigs.
Yeah. Well, the pigs here are probably cleaner. So you make the friends. But if you go to India, in villages,
Chikhal.
they stay in the filthy place. What do they eat? All the filthy material. People, when they pass away the fecal material, they go and eat it. Yeah. That's how they keep the cleanliness of the village. Now when you see a pig in the filthy place, what do you feel? You feel bad, isn't it? He's suffering, we say, because we won't like to stay in that filthy place. But apparently the pig is enjoying that filthy place. You know? That is the condition of the material souls. Nityananda Prabhu saw those two people, they were drunkard and they were enjoying the alcohol and the drugs. But we really feel that, okay, that is not good for them. Nityananda Prabhu also said the same thing, that even though these people are so sinful, they are suffering. somehow or other if Harinam can deliver them. So everybody warned Nityananda, please don't go closer to these people, they are really dreadful. Please don't go. But Nityananda Prabhu was brave and really compassionate. You know, compassion needs some courage also. If you are compassionate but not willing to act, then nothing will happen. That's a false compassion actually. So Nityananda Prabhu went closer, and those two drunkards were so much drunk that they fell down on the ground. When Nityananda Prabhu went closer, he told them, Bolo Krishna Bhaja Krishna, Laha Krishna Naam. Krishna Mata Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. He said to those two drunkards who already lost their consciousness that please chant the holy name of Krishna, because Krishna is our father, Krishna is our mother, he is the one who is going to deliver us from this material world. Why do you want to waste your life? As soon as he finished these two sentences, those two drunkards got up and their eyes were really red. And they looked at Nityananda and their eyes were so red and angry. Nityananda understood that there's something wrong going to happen, so he got up from there, and those two drunkards started chasing Nityananda. They wanted to kill Nityananda actually, hurt him. So Haridas told Nityananda, see, everybody warned us, but you go to the wrong place, and because of you I get troubled. So both of them started running, and those two drunkards were chasing them so that they can catch them and hurt them. So Nityananda and Haridas ran so fast that those two drunkards remained behind, and they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and reported what happened. And at that time, another associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose name is Advaita Acharya, he told that if Nityananda wants to deliver those, and if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives them the blessing, then those two drunkards will definitely get delivered. It is said, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradataye Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaur Krishnaya Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradataye. So Krishna Prem can only be given by the compassion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So next day, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went for shower at Ganga, he saw those two drunkards actually. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ignored them. He didn't look at them. And that same evening, when Nityananda was returning from the mission which was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to go door and door, those two drunkards again met Nityananda. And he said, you are the one. What is your name? He said, my name is, and as soon as he was started introducing that Madhai, who was the brother of the drunkard Jagai, he brought out a bottle and hit it right on the head of Nityananda. Nityananda started bleeding heavily from his forehead. And this news of hurting Nityananda reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with all his associates and he wanted to punish that Madai right there and there itself. But here is the picture where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to punish that Madai and Jagai. At that time, Nityananda Prabhu hold the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, Oh Lord, your incarnation is not to punish these people. Your incarnation is to remove the dirt in their mind. And this Jagai is the one who has saved me while Madai was hitting me a lot. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that, the second drunkard brother, who was Jagai, saved Nityananda Prabhu from further injury. He cooled down. And he really became happy with the action of Jagai. And he said that you have done a wonderful by saving a Vaishnava from getting offended. So I give you a blessing that you will get the love for Krishna. And at that time, Madai also came to his senses and he also asked for the forgiveness. And with the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, these two drunkard, Jagai and Madai, they became the wonderful devotees of Lord Krishna, and they started chanting the holy name. So same mood of compassion, Srila Prabhupada in the 20th century came to America. Everybody knows Prabhupada here? How many of you are hearing of the Prabhupada for the first time? Yeah? So for the benefit of them, Prabhupada is the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. It's called ISKCON. It was established 50 years back. This is the year 2016, where this is the 50th anniversary of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. And Prabhupada traveled from Mumbai to Boston, America on a ship, Jaladuta. The name of the ship is Jaladuta. To travel on the ship is a very difficult journey for 2 months. And he was not traveling in a passenger ship, he was traveling on a cargo ship where he was given a small space to sit as a complimentary by Desai Shipping Company. And on that cargo ship, Prabhupada suffered 2 heart attacks. He had only $7 in his pocket and a few books of Srimad Bhagavatam. He knew no one in America, and in the limited time of 14 years after that he arrived, he established more than 100 temples across the globe, thousands of people following Krishna consciousness, distributed millions of copies of Bhagavad Gita. It's like a magic. And now you see every town and village in America having a Krishna temple. That is blessing of Srila Prabhupada. Now this gentleman in his old age, after 66 years of age, when most of the people retire and try to play with their grandchildren, he left his family and his comfort and he went to America. We all come to America or Canada for what did you come? Why did you come, Prabhuji? Why did you come, Prabhuji? Make some dollars. How about you, Sachin Prabhu? For better dollars? Better life. Well, life is dollar, right? Without dollar, there is no life, right? That's right. So better money, better comforts. We all want something better. But here, Prabhupada leaving his comforts and coming to America. What is that called as? What is that called as? That is called compassion. Para dukhe dukhe. He saw people suffering in India and people suffering in America. But there is one tendency in India. Unless and until it is imported, it is not good. Unless and until something is imported, that has no value. Like, for example, if you buy the shirt made in India, but from America, and donate to gift it some good, they will be happy because it is from America. You get this? You get this or not? Sometimes when somebody with a different type of skin color, okay, like Caucasians, they go to India and they give the class, everybody will come to here. Because it's like people from different countries are appreciated much better. Somehow India has this, now it is changing nowadays because it's globalization. But that time it was the trend that anything imported is good. So Prabhupada said, we have this Bhagavad Gita and nobody is following Bhagavad Gita. So he said, I will preach this Bhagavad Gita in America and let American comes and preach Bhagavad Gita to India. They will accept it. It's simple, right? Isn't it? So Prabhupada ji tried very hard to preach Bhagavad Gita in India. Nobody accepted his Bhagavad Gita. For 10-15 years, not a single disciple he could make in India. Nobody accepted him. Same Prabhupada ji left India, came to America, made hundreds of disciples. All those disciples, all are white, skin-colored disciples. Everybody went to India and they distributed millions of copies of distributed Bhagavad Gita. Everybody took Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada used to call them white elephants. These are my white elephants who are going to distribute Krishna in India. And literally thousands, if you remember those who are born in 70s, when I was young, I used to see outside our school, there used to be vans, selling Bhagavad Gita. And all were the white disciples of Srila Prabhupada. In Bombay, there is Azad Maidan. People used to come to listen to Prabhupada's lectures in thousands and thousands. Why? Because these white disciples of Srila Prabhupada used to go every Indian and they used to come to see these white people dancing on the stage with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That was the wonder. So Prabhupada just spread Bhagavad Gita like anything. And how did Prabhupada do this? Without money? Compassion. He stayed in place in New York when he knew nobody, in a place called Lower Bowery area, where only drunkards stay, drug addicts. And those drug addicts are so dangerous that they used to come in the middle of the night to kill Prabhupada under the influence of drugs. Prabhupada stayed like that for 1 year. And he was so disappointed because for 1 year he could not make single progress, single disciple. And it was all frustration. But he was so compassionate that he persisted and he distributed the knowledge. And then in Tompkins Square he did a kirtan and thousands of people joined for his first kirtan in the Tompkins Square Park in New York underneath a tree. And that CD reached to
George
Harrison. And Apple's, Beatles they used to call, they made a CD and Hare Krishna Mahamantra became famous all over Europe, America, and rest is the history. Prabhupada distributed millions of copies. And at this time, more than 400 temples of Krishna exist on the planet. And all those people who were drug addicts, drunkards, they called hippies, they call them hippies. You know that hippie movement? Used to be a counterculture movement. Anything, don't trust anybody above 30 years of age. Like the Vietnam War was going on. Huge problems in the world at that time. And every young American was becoming hippie. They were under the influence of drugs. All those hippies were converted into happies by Srila Prabhupada. They gave up the drugs, they gave up the alcohol, they gave up the meat eating, they shaved their head, wore the saffron, and became sannyasi, and all of them, they distributed Bhagavad Gitas in India, China, Japan, America, everywhere in the world. And at this time, ISKCON, which is established by Srila Prabhupada, finishing 50 years, is there in major countries of the world. It is rapidly growing in Russia. If you go to Russia or South America, this is rapidly growing. Like thousands and thousands of disciples, and not Indian origin, all are local people. All are local. You can go and search on the internet. The disciples are becoming in thousands. Why people join it? It's not just sentiment. It is not fanatism. Because there is a philosophy to support it. There is a lifestyle change to support it. Because it supports, it helps them. And because it makes the life of people very happy, very compassionate towards each other. And compassion is, it is a term to be understood in a right sense. Here is the lady, if you can see the picture here clearly, or maybe you can switch off one of the lights so that you can see that picture clearly. We'll,
the other one.
We'll end within next 5 minutes. That this lady is looking or polishing a cage, and she is looking after the cage. Cage is of gold cage, and the bird inside is suffering, and she's thinking that the bird is suffering because the cage is dirty, so she is trying to clean the cage. Now then she thinks that okay, this cage is not good, so she makes another cage of golden cage. And she cleans that golden cage also, but the bird is still suffering. So now what happens here is that the bird is hungry, but the lady is looking after the cage. What does that mean? Misdirected compassion. Right? So we see that people are suffering around us, but there is a understanding of the suffering is required, that why people are suffering. And Bhagavad Gita has this philosophy which helps us to understand that Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam chara tatha dehantaram prapti dhiras tatrana muhyati. Which means that Krishna says to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita that as soon as you take birth, you get this body. This body from boyhood becomes young, from young to old age, and old age you suffer and you die. Throughout all this cycle of repeated birth and death, you have a lot of sufferings involved. Everybody suffers. Whether you are rich or a poor, whether you are an ordinary person or a prime minister or a president. Everybody has the suffering. And what is the root cause of suffering? Punarapi janma, punarapi marna. You know? We all take the birth. As soon as you take the birth, what happens? You get this body. Right? And we spend whole life in looking after the cage. We try to make our body very happy. How do we make the body happy? By pampering it, by putting some cosmetics, going to the salon, going to the parlor, going to the nice restaurant. And then what happens to the body? Body undergo disease. When there is a disease, there is a pain. And at the time of death, what happens?